Right. I want to do... All our talks end up becoming discussions, so I phrase this one as more of a discussion. So yeah, is gaming the future of digital media? Just give you a bit about us. So Sairo set up about 4 years ago with Will then and James, who's in Bridgefest. Yes, he remote works there about every other month, I think, at the moment. But yeah, basically we started on this journey of exploring what Web3 is and where we have seen kind of the kind of digital media starting to kind of take place in terms of the Metaverse and how gaming and gaming technologies are kind of crafting that journey. So originally we started as kind of 3D agency, kind of grew up in digital fashion, and now kind of more pose ourselves as innovation consultants and helping people understand what these new technologies are. So VR, AR, the Metaverse, and game tech. There's a quick video of some of the stuff we've been up. So that's a project we've done for Nick. Is Hoff Pods. He basically has been creating these amazing kind of outdoor scenery pieces, but didn't have any case studies, so we started generating some for him. And what was some more? There's a few other case studies I'll go through in a sec. But yeah, I'm just going to pose some kind of for and against arguments for gaming, and if you have any kind of points you want to make, just chip in all the way through. So, at the moment, gaming is a very much an expanding market. The stat on there, $184 billion that's worth at the current moment in, what was that? 2024. For us, it's been an exciting journey just to kind of start getting into more of the kind of gaming area. That was obviously including kind of, PlayStation, Xbox, but also encompassing some of the kind of more kind of free-to-play stuff. So, Roblox, Fortnite, and some of these kind of other exciting games that are out there. So for us at the moment, we're seeing a lot of businesses coming to us around the kind of, how do we diversify the revenue systems for games? And for them, we're working with educators and different kind of sector industries to help them understand, what's out there and what could they possibly be doing. So for us at the moment, the past kind of few projects has actually been in free-to-play games, more in the Roblox world, helping people to kind of get in and work with and educate kids in different ways. So we're working with a really cool education brand at the moment called... I should have put that in a different one. I'll show it here. So Together. Together has been set up by Helen Hill, who's a eco-educator basically, and she's been kind of creating this course content and a physical immersive space to kind of bring kids into and show them different ways of kind of helping the local environment and helping kind of endangered species. And we were like, why don't we take that and kind of gamify it a little bit? So we've created this immersive environment for it within Roblox. Because ultimately, the kids that she was kind of working with were kind of around this kind of 9 to 16-year-old age range. And for us, what's some of Roblox's core kind of age demographic. So it just made sense to kind of bring some of her educational tools into this immersive space. I'll play the video again. So we kind of see this abandoned chapel here. So there's a pipistrelle bat in there. She's done a lot of work around with bat conservationists around how you can maybe able to help bats in the kind of local environment. There's also a hedgehog, and we've also put in forgotten the other animal now. This will be a bee. That'll be all. No. But Helen's been amazing and helping us kind of get into this kind of game sector. I'm going to go back a couple of slides. So diversification of revenue. So understanding what free-to-play is over kind of more your traditional kind of gaming within Xbox or PlayStation. Another one of our projects that we've been kind of working on was with Hex, and Republique, based in Bristol. And they're a fashion agency that we've kind of grown up with from kind of the early days of kind of digital fashion boom. And Republique were quite keen to basically educate fashion brands and move them into the digital world, but we're finding that basically fashion aren't being receptive to the prices that have been put in front of them in terms of trying to get into gaming. So we helped him set up Hex, which is more of a kind of, I guess, department store style game platform where we can kind of launch brands in and kind of bring in plug and play games where we can help basically get them into the space and help them understand what possibly is coming within kind of this interesting space of Roblox. To give you a little bit more background on Roblox at the moment is kind of a leading platform within the kind of gaming space. It's been around for absolutely black donkey's years now. I remember when we were kind of growing up, it was probably like just coming out, I think. Yeah. But it's got to the point where basically the market has realized that actually this, from the decline of the metaverse, Roblox kind of took off as this kind of more regulated and kind of friendly gaming platform. And basically brands have been launching content on there to the point where it's now attracting about 89 million daily active users. And last year they paid out about $1 billion to brands. Which kind of brings me on to my next point, which is, these sort of platforms are giving the tools to the creators and basically letting them launch whatever they want on the platform. So over the past kind of couple of years, it's grown to about 70,000 independent creators making games and basically getting paid to create stuff and get engagement and ultimately create content for people. Done that well. And it's coming into this point of the evolution of a social platform. And obviously we've kind of gone through Facebook. I think Facebook's been around for plenty of time and obviously that platform's evolved. But I think some of these gaming platforms are evolving alongside and kind of taking some of the social stuff that Facebook and Instagram have kind of brought to the table and brought them into their kind of into their platforms and ultimately making games that ultimately are getting people talking to each other, interacting and having more kind of digital experiences together. Such as, and this was kind of a big one of a few years ago, Travis Scott and the evolution of kind of the music industry into the kind of digital space. So over a weekend, he ended up getting about 46 million users viewing his concert, which he virtually put on. It was about a 10-minute experience and get people to go into this and basically interact and talk to each other and experience Travis's concert, which was kind of predetermined, guardrailed experience where you were taken along and got to experience a few of his tracks. And ultimately, brands are doing this because of the kind of economic opportunities. As I said, Roblox has paid out about $1 billion over the past year. I think it's probably going up to more like $2 billion this year. And we're seeing other platforms starting to add these opportunities into their ecosystem. So, but at the moment, Epic Games are currently launching their platform, which you're going to be able to list content on to sell to users. And GTA's also announced their ambitions to basically integrate user-generated content and monetization for creators. I think we were chatting the other week about the fact that it is becoming like the new YouTube, the 3D YouTube, where it's giving the power to creators to put out what they want and ultimately monetize it through advertising and engagement. And we were chatting to a brand the other day, and he's been basically speaking with these guys. It basically made a rip-off of Squid Game called Ribble.
It's more than a rip-off. It
is a direct to the point where they actually have been speaking to Netflix and have offered Netflix a royalty of this and still haven't got a cease and assist. And
how much is it turning every month? Is it like 4 million quid?
4 million of them.
The Squid Game, 4 million quid a month, and Netflix turned now 50%.
It is, it's absolutely crazy. And currently got 775 million visits. All ago. It's a crazy stat. Some of the kind of against points. So where am I up to? Yeah, we're seeing a lot of kind of pushback, and obviously, kind of reflecting on the hex stuff. Higher development costs. These technologies have been around for a while, but are always evolving. We're seeing some absolutely ridiculous kind of development costs on some of the high-end games, where they're building their own engines and environments to kind of create within. But on the flip side, there are tools becoming available that are, again, empowering creators to make their own. The Witcher have kind of just said that they're not going to create their own engine anymore, and they're moving everything into Unreal, which is a free platform for everyone to kind of jump on. And for us, we're shifting into more of an aspect of, right, if brands can't afford to get onto these platforms, how can we offer different things and different ways to get them on? So looking at activations and using existing environments and 3D content to get people into those worlds and get eyes and engagement onto their brands ultimately. And I think we're seeing now there's more emphasis on this in terms of Roblox. Their recent announcement, obviously, of Google's partnership for their ad platform, but also Shopify's partnership, which is ultimately bringing physical products into the digital world as well. Data and privacy concerns. Yeah, they're collecting more and more, but I think all the companies, especially AI companies, are seemingly collecting more and more private data, and ultimately, I think there's a bigger conversation now around passports and securing online data. Ultimately, I think for us, and kind of another one, obviously, looking at the kind of exploitation of the platforms and kind of financial incentives of these free platforms. Ultimately, the kids are seemingly wanting to get more and more content, and it's costing parents more and more to get it.
The tea fairies are dabbling in Fortnite bikes, shouldn't it? She level.
Street selling has become really expensive now.
I know, they had to go to Z-Boy, she'd take it out. We'll let him off, but honestly, the only time is a pass here for V-Bucks. And then, all FIFA points on the outside.
I think it's always been.
I do it for ways.
For me, it was Pokemon cards Elite. So, but ultimately, what we're doing to try and combat that is just educating. So we've been really creating and curating workshops to kind of educate us, firstly, on how to kind of act and how to get onto these social platforms and be safe, but also we're currently scaling some workshops around working with kids, and it's a big part of it in terms of if we want to educate on Roblox, ultimately they need to be safe on Roblox as well, or any other platform. The big one that we've been getting at the moment is the kind of safety and content moderation challenges. So the platform is open. You can jump into whatever world, and those aren't betas. If a kid goes into it, ultimately we need to make sure that they stay safe. And luckily, as of about November, Roblox have launched a kind of content moderation platform. But ultimately, again, kids will be kids.
Verify your pleasure with a credit card. Yeah. My husband's credit card, where is it? Very much.
Kids will be kids and try and break the system as much as you can to get into that. But at least they're taking some steps to make sure that it's safe, as YouTube did back in the day, and obviously they ended up losing a YouTube case. For us, I guess we're on this journey at the moment that I think, again, is reflecting on your journey in the kind of creative sector. And we've always worked on problem solving, and we get given projects and we don't know the solution, and we're going to have to go on this journey to find that solution. And for us, I think, we just tackle that. So we've been on our kind of product journey and kind of more productizing our services. So for us now, we are very much focused on kind of the game technology side of things rather than just immersive technologies as our full sector. Looking at educational workshops is our kind of big first step, where we're working with both brands and kids to kind of educate them on, first, the opportunities, but also trying to get more coders into the space, because Roblox is a really fun platform and they have a full back-end system where we can teach a little bit about coding. The next step is obviously looking at activations, and for us, activations is a nicer way to get brands in the door and ultimately get their taste of Roblox at a very small level, to ultimately like entice them to hopefully build their own kind of digital gaming website within Roblox or gaming world. And moving into products, we recently got some UKRI funding to kind of build our own AI product through MITI, which is the MIDI City immersive technology. Yeah, I think it is. I should say MITI. That product kind of looked like this. Basically, from doing a lot of fashion work and trying to get people into these kind of gaming worlds, we ended up kind of going through this journey and realizing actually there's a really cool product to cut costs to. So we've ended up developing a tool to basically take images of fashion, basically plug in the back of Shopify, take the images off Shopify, rip them out and create flat UV maps, which are kind of skins of a 3D model to then put around a 3D model and get them onto gaming platforms at much less of the cost that we've been kind of getting charged. Some of the garments that we end up kind of costing up at like £400 plus. And for some of these platforms, people just aren't seeing the returns yet and aren't wanting to invest that because they're already investing in physical stock. So if we can get people, the fashion brands onto platforms quicker, then it's a win-win for us, I think. But that's just been a little bit of my reflection of the kind of positives and negatives of working in the kind of gaming sector at the moment. And if there's any questions, just let me know.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. And a big one that round in the circles is being you like the petrol. How's it monetized? So you come to me, and I'm a retailer, and I have products, and you say to me, I can upload them to Roblox for you get some money out the back. How is that monetized?
So I was talking to a music brand today about basically how do we get their brand in and activate it properly. So there's kind of 4 different ways at the moment. 2 of them are like still in the works at Roblox, but the main 2 are basically digital merchandise. So people coming onto the platform wanted to buy and buying those products.
Like products within Roblox.
Within Roblox.
So like you get a little thing.
Yeah,
you can put like
you could buy that duffel.
Prada handbags or something.
You could buy that duffel bag.
Oh right, yeah.
Wear the duffel bag, and it's looking at like digital identities within these kind of platforms. Kids are wanting to dress the ways they want to dress, and ultimately are building their own kind of digital identities within. Those products can be bought and then sold.
Is it a little bit like like skins and Fortnite?
Skins.
Yeah. Okay, because I know they've got a few footballers on it.
Yeah. So like we were
really been into Roblox.
Yeah, we launched like loads of t-shirts, and you could buy a t-shirt or you could buy a whole body, and look like that. So that's one of the big ones. Then some of the one of the platforms we're working with at the moment, it's about a 10% buy rate on engagement. So they're averaging on small product activations, it's anywhere from about 90,000 views a month to 200,000 views a month on just a product pedestal. And we're looking about a 10% return on that.
And that's only costing $4,000 for an activation for a month.
Yeah.
So when you compare it against your Instagrams and your Facebooks, really affordable, and also engagement in terms of engagement, but also you get the sales revenue out the back of it. Yes, Roblox will take a cut, but you then can potentially recoup on that investment, even bringing it down to maybe, I think we worked it out about 1,800 quid. It would actually cost if on average you sold about 10% on if like views to less version.
So then the other way is actual platform engagement. So if you've got a world, it's kind of like Spotify. You get paid per person per minute of engagement in that world, but that's only on premium users. So for one of the worlds, I think someone jumped in for like 4 minutes. They got about $1.40. They're averaging anywhere between 50 to 20 minutes, usually, if you get to a good engagement rate. And again, so as those start to stack up, that's actually where a lot of it's getting paid out. There's also like power-ups, so like additional, like you can get a boost on something.
So from that immersive education and learning world, you want to make it so that it is immersive, it's informative, it's interactive.
Gamified.
It's gamified so that actually the people stay there, and then you build more in that world.
Yeah.
So with Roblox then, do you have access to the back office even though it's not your IP? How does...
It's all open. You can code whatever you want in it. You can build whatever you want in it.
That's not safe, is it?
They do not allow external links in it, so you can't be taken off the site. But you can build anything within that environment. Obviously, from a content moderation perspective, there has been things built that aren't fitting for use, and that's kind of where they're really trying to kind of crack down on this, because ultimately, there could be something on there, but I think that's a problem for a lot of social platforms, just like Facebook. Then their content moderation department is like terrible, and I think one of the worst ones to work in.
I will say they are definitely trying their best though, because when we built Hex, there was even just, I think it was an image of one of the hype energy drink cans that we put up there, and for some reason it got flagged as profanity, and it was nothing. It was a can of energy drink, but like they got to be wrapped down. They really do try their best to kind of make an effort in cancelling as much bad content out of it as possible. I would say as a platform, that's one of the main benefits of Roblox. Yes, there's still issues, but you could get issues in everyday life or even on any other platform. I would say they are definitely trying their best compared to what platforms we've worked on before. So,
and the other kind of two areas, one, obviously, that launching Shopify. So they're going to be able to sell.
So you can't see a girl and go try,
in real life.
which is what we've been trying.
Yes, so that's currently like beta testing with certain brands. The other one that I've been made aware of is that they're also beta testing tickets as well. So people are doing virtual concerts. You can buy a ticket to go to the virtual concert. They actually experimented with Wicked, so you could virtually go and see
10 minutes of good bit.
No, the whole movie
Really?
in an experience where you could also game.
That's pretty cool.
So they work with Warner and I think so. Where else? Mayberry. So there's a few, and they're constantly launching new ways kind of monetizing.
Cool. Is any other questions?
Why is it called an activation? What does that mean? I'm not from, I'm just assuming digital marketing will observe them back.
Yeah. I think I was kind of paralleling it to like shop activations. So I think in the fashion world, you might have shop space where you might do a weekend, your content, and it goes and it's gone. We want to activate into different brand spaces, but it'd probably be there from like a week to a month. Get the engagement and it's out. That's better.
So like pop-up.
Yeah, pop-ups, yeah.
Right.
I don't want to extend the conversation too much on the Roblox, but I'm curious about, you've got that demographic, which tend to be a younger demographic, and you've got this monetization. I get it, if you like, when the brands are being exposed, then basically the brands are saying they're paying for that. But when the actual kids are saying, I want that particular bag. This demographic generally doesn't have a lot of money, all right? So you're aiming for that things, and you're going to take money out of those kids. How does that actually work? Is that, we've talked about nicking the credit card.
So their average age demographic at the moment is like 9 to 24. Obviously, the older demographic, they can just do it themselves. But yeah, ultimately, it's down to parents and parental permission to go and do that.
Right, so this is really bleeding cash from parents, basically, Kurz's model,
No, because I think it's been around for years. Yeah, again, I've been saying like Pokemon cards and trading cards. I bought a hell of a lot of them. When I was growing up, it was FIFA packs. Then it went on to CSGO, which was skins. Yeah. And I think inherently kids have always wanted to buy.
Yeah. Parents have been with us for those things as well.
Doing like the school playground as well, like you've got like these shoes you want, or the tracksuit you want, or like it's
the same concept. Yeah, like buying a toy, but it's a digital toy.
Oh, we've spoken about that on this side of regards.
The physical toy.
The physical opportunity to buy out of Roblox, the brands in there has to be wide ranging because you've also got to think about the social like the impoverished areas and the social economic areas where if a kid is in there and they've seen a product and they really want to buy it, it has to be accessible and affordable as well. So it has to be for Asda.
The product costs are about 70p at like an average cost.
Yeah, but when you start adding Shopify into it, then goes up to another level. And that's that changes the game. And I get the 70p thing. That's okay, but you start building Shopify, that's another level of monetization.
That's then going to more like physical
items that they're buying.
Can I go to different? Rightly or wrongly, this is the form of sort of how what kids are engaged with now.
Yeah,
I think there should be more education done through this. If this is what found engaging, I think inside room what we've had the same level of sort of user awareness training for about the last 20 years. And so gamifying it is the next, but users find it more engaging. They want to progress because of the gamified elements of it. If that's what the youth were engaged in, it should be more, I think, pushing more of this if it's going to get the end result that we want. But I do see that, I do agree, parents' bank accounts will get rinsed along the way. And there's really, unless you're really on top of it as a parent, you want the kids to be able to get to the next and have the next like add-ons that are £2.50 and £3, but that can vary.
Ultimately, where escalate, we need to educate both the parents and the kids on what this is. And
you can put spending limits like that. But yes, you're out with most of these things, you can put spending limits like so. It can only go so.
But ultimately, it's a free platform to go on anyway. So they don't have to spend a single penny there. They could just play games.
On Charlie.
Got two questions for you. That's good. So one's probably quite easy. One maybe a bit harder. The first one, because I was in advance of this talk, I was chatting to I've got a 9-year-old daughter, and I take a friend to swimming, and she's on Roblox where my daughter isn't. So I was I was asking her, she's just been playing Roblox before. She plays with her friends, so she speaks to her friends on it, who's in Burnley and she's in where I live, and I was just asking a question, but I said how's it work and stuff. And one of the things that seemed weird to me, I don't know if it's true, was that she said basically your session, you have to carry on playing it to a point. It doesn't save, basically. The game doesn't save. So if you leave it, you start from scratch.
Depends on your pro goal. Depends on the game.
Oh, so there's different games in
100%. Yeah.
Roblox.
Roblox is like a mini clip.
It's not like a world. It's not like
you can have there's millions of games
okay,
and you can jump into different worlds.
So there's, just to give you a bit of context, Roblox's platform is like an experience platform. There's 200 million games on Roblox.
What?
At the moment.
200 million games.
The people have just created.
But so on the app store, I think there's like a couple of million apps or something, because obviously it's about a regular
people can build. There's whatever you want. So some of them may be rubbish, though. Is it been around longer than the App Store? But it's been around a long time, and so I'm going a hell of a long time.
Right. Okay. Second question. No, so it's because of the game, right? Why have you decided to focus on Roblox?
I think we've been having fun with it. I think that's been one of our core things is like we've not had fun with some of our projects. And it's been a struggle to get some of them off the ground.
Some of the other stuff
that we've done. And I think we've noticed that evidently brands are interested in this, and we've definitely within the fashion sector. But also like at the core, we've been having a lot of fun with it. And we've done a couple of projects, and we really believe in like actually we can create some really engaging content and good content rather than some other stuff that we've seen on the platform. Yeah, I think it comes down to like, Segway's core values of it and wanting to do more fun stuff rather than just, monotonous, more like, retopology, hardcore, like 3D stuff.
Related to that question, how do you conceptually see the difference between Fortnite and Roblox? Like, how do you describe the two as?
Fortnite's very gate-kept at the moment. We've been trying to get in with some of the team there, but they pretty much work on buyouts in terms of getting content onto the platform. So if you want to buy skins and stuff, they work with a brand, they'll just pay you, turn that, and they'll take the IP and make what they want. You can create worlds which will be monetized based on time and engagement, but ultimately you can't sell products, so brands don't really want to go into it because they don't want to just build a space for engagement's sake. And also the fact that, there isn't really an advertising platform, so you launch it and it's them, you advertising it on other social networks to get that word out. So I just think Roblox has built a model that is a lot more accessible and has advertising, product sales, and the right metrics to basically engage users to create content. Yeah. Like YouTube did back in the day, I think that ultimately set a standard for, I think, good engagement stuff. And I think they've ended up hiring a lot of the kind of big people at Google and YouTube to kind of come in and help them on their projects.
Any other question? No?
Brilliant. Thanks, Martin.